Disalu, he wants to know, what do you put into consideration when you go into partnership with someone in a business? You don't
Mhm.
have the professional know-how, and your partner is a professional in the field. Like, he
Yeah,
wants to know what.
that's a very good question. I've not had partnerships necessarily. Well, I have semi partnerships that didn't go well, and then I learned lessons from those, so I can speak to how you want to evaluate a partner, especially if the person is the one with the experience and you're the one that's not. So the very first thing is you've got to document who's gonna do what. Okay, so let's say we're starting this partnership. I'm putting in the money, I'm putting in my know-how or whatever that I'm going to bring to the table. The person who's the experienced person in that industry, they got to write down what they're going to bring to the table, and we will put that in writing. We'd say, hey, we're starting this partnership between me and this person. Here are the responsibilities of the partners. Partner A will be responsible for X, Y, Z, and any other things relating to this field. Partner B would be responsible for this, this, and this, and anything else relating to that. Okay, so we have a general agreement. We sign it. We know, then we have everything on board, right? Everything should be documented. And when choosing a partner, it's got to be somebody that you know, like, and trust, and you feel good about. If you don't feel good about the person, your instincts, even if you don't know exactly why, every woman would tell you this, and anybody who's ever had instincts about people and they've been right with their instincts, they just didn't know something just felt off. Trust
Mhm.
that. Trust that thing. If something feels off about the person,
Mhm.
don't push it to the side. Trust that little thing, that instinct, that gut feeling. Trust that. But if you feel good about the person and you feel like this person's an ethical person, they're knowledgeable about what they're doing, still get it all in writing, put the responsibilities down on paper, both of you sign it, and have somebody witness it. This is just so you guys protect each other. This should not be anything major where somebody has a problem with. Have somebody be the witness to it. Okay, we witnessed, we signed this thing, this is our agreement, everybody's on the same page. Now we can go and handle our responsibilities that we each have to this partnership we created. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I'm guessing it did. Paul, I hope you're watching and that answered your question. So, just to go back to the previous question about advising young people on savings.
So the first thing is there's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a great book, very easy read. You can probably find a PDF of it online. In this book, this guy has something called the 10 Rules of Gold. And he's talking about how you build wealth and different things. And one of the things is that he says in that book is you should save no less than 10% of your income. No less than 10% of your income. Now, if you can save more, you save more, but no less than 10%. Sometimes that's hard to do unless you increase your income. That's why just cutting out things doesn't always solve the problem. So the first place a person can start is by starting to put money into some type of account. Whether it's if you can get a bank account, go get a bank account and you put the money to the side without touching it. If you can't get a bank account because of where you are, which country you're living in, start to at least put that money to the side and make sure you keep that, right? So in the States, we have retirement accounts that people can use. And so you can start taking some of your money and you can put it into a retirement account. This your money into. Personally, what I like to use for myself is I put cash into my life insurance policy. I have a life insurance policy that pays when I die. I also have a life insurance policy that earns interest on my cash in the policy. So I put money in there. It grows without ever losing money. There's no risk to it. It grows in there, and I can leverage it to buy real estate. I could take that money out to buy real estate. I could take a loan against that money to buy real estate, and stuff like that. So that's something a person saving for the future can do. Because if you look at what a retirement plan is, what a retirement plan is designed to do is to provide money to you each month or each year when you're not able to work or you choose not to work anymore, right? That's all a retirement account is. Doesn't matter what the name of the account is. That's the goal of the account. It's to produce cash flows, to produce income for you. So a lot of times when a person's young, they're not thinking about the end result of it. They're thinking about how much money am I going to have? What investment should I have in this? And all that kind of stuff. They're thinking about what's called accumulation. So think of retirement like a mountain. So this is the mountain. You got to climb up the mountain. That's the accumulating your money. And you got to climb back down a mountain, which is taking money out of your account. The end result isn't just to go to the top of the mountain. The end result is to go to the top of the mountain and come down safely. That's the goal. So if your goal is cash flow, then you start looking at, okay, what can produce cash flow for me? That's because if you look in America, you have a 401k, you have an IRA for individual retirement accounts. And all it is a pool of money. All it is money in an account. That's all it is. In order for you to use that money, you have to take it out. And then there's different rules and penalties when you take that money out. So there's taxes and all kinds of stuff when you have to take the money out. So if you start thinking about the end result, which is money coming to you without you having to work for it, without you having to go out and earn it. That's the goal of a retirement account. Cash flow coming to you without you having to go out and earn it. So if that's the goal, are there other ways I can achieve this goal? Probably. So, for example, real estate is one way a person can achieve that goal. If I own a real estate building or form a partnership with people and we go and buy real estate together and people rent from us and every month they pay us, that's cash flow coming to me without me having to go out and earn it. Same end result, I'm just using a different vehicle. So it doesn't matter so much the vehicle you use as long as you understand why you're doing something in the first place. So retirement is supposed to produce income. And it's supposed to produce income without you having to go out and earn it. So where a person could start is first committing, making a decision to put money aside. And then from there, making a decision about what vehicle to put it in. It could be a retirement account at work. Sometimes you work at a job here. You put money into your retirement account, and your employer matches you to a certain percentage. So maybe you put 4% of your income into a retirement account. Your employer might put 4% into that account also. So now you got 8%, you know. So that's the idea behind the vehicles you use. But first, what a person can do immediately is one, make a decision. It doesn't cost you anything to make a decision. You just decide, okay, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to start saving for retirement, or I'm going to continue saving for retirement, or I'm going to increase the money I'm putting away. That's one. That's a decision. Number two, then you actually start doing it. Okay, decide on a percentage you want to put away. 5%, 10%. My personal view is that it shouldn't be less than 10%. But sometimes a person can't save 10% of the income because they're not in a position to do so. If they save 10% of the income, they couldn't live. So put some percentage towards on the side. Then from there, you start looking at, okay, now that I'm building the habit of putting money to the side, what should I put this money into? What's the best thing for me to do based on knowing that I want to be able to get cash flow coming to me without me having to go out and earn it.
Okay. So what about people like my age, in the mid-30s, going on 40, 50s that haven't started saving? How do we catch up? Like, where do we start from? How can we, bridge that gap that we've left so wide? How do we catch up so that when we retire, we can maintain a certain lifestyle?
The short answer will be the person has to put more money away. But if you really think about it, there's creative things they can do. So I'm going to give you some numbers so that we can think with, and I'll go slowly on this so that people listening can have a sense of the numbers, right? So let's say I want, and I'm just using this general number. Anybody can adjust these numbers. This is just basic math. So let's say I want $50,000 a year of income. So let's say I want in my retirement, I want to get $50,000 a year. That's about $4,000 a month. Now, of course, depending on which country you live in and all that, that's different. But let's say that's my goal. All right. So if I want that result, in order for me to get $50,000 a year from, let's say I'm 65 years old and I don't want to run out of money, in order for me to do that, if I use a 401k, I need to have $1 million in that 401k, because probably more than that, because the financial advisors will tell you, don't take out more than 4% to 5% per year. Most of